Last video, I asked you guys for questions, and you guys asked me questions. Anyway, there were a ton of questions, so let's answer them. Where did you get your username from? Basically, I stole it. It was a nickname that my dad called me since I was young, and I used it as my username. I was considering naming my channel Reese's Pieces, which was another nickname that people at school called me, but it doesn't have as nice of a ring to it that Reese's has. And yes, I'm named after a candy. What is your favorite art medium? Why? And how has your art style evolved throughout your time as an artist? Definitely digital art, just because there's so much freedom with it and you have access to so many more tools. As for my art style, when I first started drawing, it was very cartoony, but over time it got a bit more realistic. Like most things, the more I drew, the more my drawings improved and my style evolved. A lot of it is just seeing what other artists that you admire do and doing something similar to them. What's your favorite food? Spaghetti for sure. How long does it take for you to animate? It usually takes me about a week or so to do the animation part of the video, but about 2 to 3 weeks in total to make the entire video. Where do I post fan art for you? Anywhere. Tweet it at me, tag me on Instagram, message me, and I'll put it in my videos. Thank you guys so much. Do you know what Danganronpa is? Yeah, but I've never played it before. What's your favorite thing to draw? Probably people. Thoughts on pineapple on pizza? It's personally not for me, but if you like it, then more power to you. Who inspired you to start animation? Well, the main thing was the animation storytime trend a few years back. I watched YouTube for pretty much my whole life, and of course I was inspired by my favorite creators, but it wasn't until animation really took off that I realized that I wanted to do that stuff too. Do you enjoy what you do? Drawing and being a YouTuber? Yeah, of course, that's why I do it. Interacting with you guys and reading the comments is the best part of being a YouTuber. At least I think so. Do you collect any figures? Like Funko Pops, etc.? Funny you mention that. I have a couple Funko Pops and figures laying around. I was also thinking about getting some more figures and buying some of these models to display in my room because they look pretty sick. How or where did you learn animation? I'm self-taught. I didn't learn animation from any classes or from someone professionally. I basically just taught myself by watching other animators and taught myself how to do what they do. Animation really isn't that hard once you observe it and break it down to make it simpler. One of the videos that I recommend watching to learn about animation is Alan Becker's 12 Principles of Animation. That video is like a freaking goldmine of animator knowledge. That showed me some of the basics in a way that's really easy to understand, and I highly recommend it. You like cheese? Nope. I'm not really a fan of it, and I find it easy to go way overboard with it. Too much cheese is freaking disgusting to me, and I really only like the cheese on pizza. Plus, I mean, look at whatever this is. You cannot tell me that this is appetizing. What hardware and software do you use? Okay, I got a lot of questions about this, but there's a bit of backstory before I answer it. You might have been able to tell that I actually use a different program to make almost every video that I've made so far. That's because I animate on an iPad, and I was trying to find a decent program to make videos with. My family's computer is about to crumble to dust, and I can't really use it to make videos, so I just used my iPad that I got during Christmas a few years ago. For my first video, Artist Problems, I just drew still images on an app called Procreate, and I edited them together. For my ghost video, I used a program some of you might have heard of, Flip-a-Clip. This is probably the most well-known animation program for mobile users, however, I don't recommend it at all. The app is alright for simple animations or for beginners, but I definitely wouldn't use it to make videos with. It's pretty hard to use when making a complex animation, so like I said, I just use it for simple stuff and for learning the basics. However, I continued to use this program for my intro video as well because I didn't have anything else to use. Then, for the winter video, I used a combination of Flip-a-Clip for the animated parts and Clip Studio Paint for the drawings. It was around this time that I actually started to look for a program that would make my life easier, where I found an app called Rough Animator. And this app is a literal godsend. Making complex animations for YouTube are like a billion times easier with this app, and I would fully recommend it to anyone interested in animating. From there, I used Rough Animator to make my presentations video, Artist Problems 2, this one, and I'll continue to use it as long as I animate on an iPad. And now here's a list of all the other programs and hardware that I use. Like I said, I use a program called Rough Animator to animate, and it cost $7 the last time I checked. The mic that I use is a Blue Yeti Nano. I use an app called Voice Recorder Voz to record my voice, and I use CapCut to edit. The model of iPad that I use is an iPad Pro 12.9-inch 3rd gen with an Apple Pencil. The thing is like a twig, but it gets the job done. For brushes, I alternate between a pressure-sensitive or non-pressure-sensitive hard round brush in Rough Animator. I make all my animations in 24 frames per second, which is the animation industry standard. Okay, I think that's everything. Do you like bananas? No, and I especially hate banana-flavored candy. What are your opinions on YouTube Shorts creators? As in that dude who copies Mr. Beast. Bro, that's like everyone nowadays. Obviously, I think it's good to take inspiration, but it's kind of lame to basically straight up copy what another creator does without adding your own style and flair to it. Cereal then milk, or milk then cereal. I can't even joke about this, it's cereal then milk every time. You should get put behind bars if you do anything otherwise. Do you support LGBTQ? Yeah. Who are the top 3 YouTubers you want to collab with the most? Tabs, Jaden, and James. Have you ever played Terraria? And if so, what are your thoughts on it? I've never played it, but it looks cool, and I definitely want to play it one of these days. I was wondering if you have or had any pets. I have. I plan on making a video about all of them at some point, so you'll just have to wait and see. How do you always get motivation to animate? Also say my name. Now. My name now. And I usually get my motivation from you guys when I read the comments. What drawing/animation are you the most proud of? Probably my presentations video, or at least for now. It's my longest video ever, and I'm pretty proud that it looks as good as it does. What's your long-term goal for your channel? Well, my main goal is just to be able to make a living off of YouTube, but as far as the subscriber milestone goes, it would be absolutely insane to be able to hit the big 1 million at some point. But for now, I think my goal would probably be 100,000 subscribers. Favorite onomatopoeia? Crash, bang, boom, pow. How do you grow your audience as a YouTuber? You don't have to answer this if you want to keep it a secret. To be honest, I'm still figuring this out myself. The only tip that I have is to make videos of popular topics that other animators made, but that's about it. Can I please have some toast? Sure. Here. How long you been making animations? Well, I've made a couple short animations when I was younger, quite a few years ago, but I never really made animations consistently until I started my channel around 9 months ago. What's your favorite fandom? I don't know about my favorite one, but I like Marvel, Star Wars, Pokemon, Animal Crossing, Kirby, Mario, Zelda, stuff like that. How did you grow a new arm? Animator, magic. Do you do realistic portraits? And if you do, what do you think your most realistic one is? I'd say I do more stylized drawings, but I think my most realistic one is this. It technically doesn't have a face in it, but I drew this a while back a couple years ago, and it's probably my most realistic portrait. I might redraw it for fun soon though. Do you think birds or dogs are better? I like both, but I think dogs are better. What is one thing no one would expect about you? I'm freaking left-handed, baby! That makes me like 50% cooler than the average person. Do you plan on publishing anything? What, like a book? Probably not, but there's always a possibility. I wrote a lot when I was a kid as a hobby, but I was never as serious with it as I was with art. What came first, the chicken or the egg? I'd say the egg because the chicken had to come from somewhere, right? If art school was free, what classes would you take, and where would they take you? Oh, this is a good question. I would probably take classes on character design, lighting and shadow, and definitely some animation classes. Not sure where exactly they would take me, but I know that they would improve my art a lot. What art supplies do you like to use? I already said I like to use digital art, but when I'm drawing traditionally, my favorite supplies are alcohol markers, but I also like to use pencils, pens, and paint pens. Do you watch One Piece, the anime/manga? I've heard of it, but I haven't watched it or read it. I'm not super into watching anime or reading manga, but maybe one of these times. How do you lip sync? To be honest, I'm just kind of winging it. I don't like when the mouth feels pretty stiff, so I just draw it loose and keep it interesting to look at. I recommend looking at some tutorials or watching other animators to see what they do. Do you have any favorite YouTubers or just anyone you look up to? Tabs, Jaden, James, PewDiePie, and Technoblade. Also can't forget Jesus. What is your favorite game franchise? Although I don't play this one super often anymore, I guess I'd have to say Minecraft. Gotta stay true to the roots. I mean, Minecraft was kind of responsible for introducing me to YouTube in the first place. I was on the internet a lot, but Minecraft kind of opened me up to how vast the internet really is because it was such a popular game. However, I play a lot of Nintendo games, so they would probably be a close second. If or when your channel grows to be larger, do you think you would expand and branch out, or stick to what you already got? I'd most likely still stick to making animations, but I might try some different types of content if you guys are up for it. I don't really have any ideas now, but let me know what you guys want to see and I'll try my best to make it happen. If you had to pick one website and one alone to post your art on, which one would it be? I'd pick YouTube, just because it kinda has everything that I need. You can upload videos, shorts, and there's a community tab for any images or updates that I would want to post. Yo, question time, I'm a funky fun art YouTuber as well. Wanna be friends? Sure. What's your favorite song currently? Maybe Pin the Grenade by Blink-182. I also really like movie and video game OSTs. Do you have any other hobbies other than drawing that you enjoy doing? I like playing video games, sleeping, listening to music, and cooking. What year of school are you in? I'm going to be a junior in 11th grade. What got you into art? Has it always been something you enjoy, or was there a time when you absolutely hated drawing? I plan on making a more in-depth video about this in the future, but I basically started drawing because of a video game I played called Animal Jam. My friend and I drew the animal characters from the game, and the rest is pretty much history. Art has mostly been something that I enjoy, and there wasn't really a time when I hated drawing per se, but I did mention how I had an art block where I didn't draw for a whole year, which I also plan on making a video about, but not for a while. How can we be as cool as you? If you watch my videos, then you're already cool. What's your favorite fruit? What's your favorite flavor of the number purple? Strawberries are my favorite fruit, and Grimace. Since your first video 8 months ago, your art style and animation skills obviously evolved, yet it doesn't seem like you're practicing with some shorts or little comics on your social media. As an apprentice animator who didn't have the chance to draw since he's a child, I'm actually curious to know your late journey on animation and how did you get your simplistic, webtoon slice of life animation style, art style, since I saw your Jaden fan art on your Twitter and it was really beautiful. Thank you. I didn't really want to start making short form content, but in this day and age, that's kind of the only way to grow and get your name out there. I mostly took inspiration for my style from Tabs and Jaden, just because it's simple enough to animate, but it looks good and is pretty recognizable. How much mac and cheese do you have? What, are you trying to rob me or something? Well, don't bother because I don't have any mac and cheese. Who would win? 7,000 Americans with guns or 1,000 British soldiers with tanks? I'm inclined to say 1,000 British soldiers with tanks. Sorry, America. What is the best comment you've ever received from a viewer of your channel? I can't really pick just one comment, but I really love all of the supportive comments that I get from you guys. How would you feel when you hit 10k subscribers? It would be insane. A dream come true, really. Do you even lift? Yeah, definitely. What apps do you suggest for drawing? I already recommended apps for animating, so I guess I'll recommend some for drawing too. I would suggest using Procreate or Clip Studio Paint. I use Clip Studio Paint for all the art on my channel, but I really recommend both programs. How many teeth do you have? 1, 2, 3, at least 6. First off, you are so amazing and I love your stuff. You always make me smile and laugh. Do you have any tips for how to be funnier? Thanks. To be honest, my humor is kinda hard to write into scripts because it usually happens naturally whenever I'm reacting to something. When writing scripts, you have to have a good flow and write it in a way to kind of set up the joke and deliver the punchline well. It's also really important to have good delivery, but it's challenging when everything is already written down on a script. Obviously, you can tell that I'm really sarcastic, so that's a bit easier to write, but I'm still trying to improve at it. If you could pitch an animated show, what would it be about? That's actually a really good question. It would probably be about a group of friends trying to go and save the world or something like that. I definitely want a lot of adventure and action in it too. Would you be willing to do the 1-day animation challenge? Yeah, definitely. I've been looking for ways to practice animation other than making videos, so I'll try this out. I might even post them to my social media eventually too. Holy frick, I'm finally done. That was a lot of questions. Thank you guys for the great questions. It was a lot of fun answering them. If you didn't see yours, it was probably because it was a repeated question and I got a lot of those. I plan on doing another Q&A sometime when I hit another milestone, so look forward to that. Alright, peace.